everyone, it's March 2014 actually, and it's freaking cold outside, so I really want to do my new window display with an explosion of flowers. So I saw this on Pinterest and on a different website, and I really love the idea of doing a flower that is a giant flower that stands on its own. So it's great for window display, which is I'm doing, and then I guess you can use it for everything else, photo shoots and stuff, which I saw. So here we go. I'm going to do 3 different sizes, and I'll show you how to do everything and all the problems that I came up on and how we solved it and where we got all the supplies either. So let's get started. Okay, on this beautiful, so this is what I'm really going to show you how to make today, beautiful ginormous tissue paper flowers. There's many different kinds on the website, but I think this is the most realistic and most beautiful, and a little bit more work intensive, which I like. Okay, so this is the small, this is the medium, woohoo, beautiful. And this is the ginormous large. I mean, seriously, it's gorgeous, but really humongous. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to start with the small. I'm just going to show you the small because the rest is just layering, and I'll definitely give you dimensions. So let's start. Okay, so how to start the petal. You start with the smallest one, and we actually did 4 sizes: extra small, small petal, medium, and large. So of course, the bigger you go, the bigger the petal. So to do the small petal, you start with the extra small first. And I have my little notes. It's a little messy, but it works for me. So we're going to do the small petal. So we start with 10 layer of extra small. Okay, and that's by 11.5 by 9 inches, and then you kind of just eyeball the scalloping. So the key is to lay one first, and using this corner as your guide, you kind of like overlap it, and it's kind of like 1 inch over here, or a little bit less, 3/4 in the curve. Okay, so we're gonna do 10 layer. Okay. And you can do more layers if you want. It's really up to you. And we are going to tape it down. It's better to use a little short tape because you kind of have to go in a circular motion. And then it starts very simple. I tape the table down, and then you roll it using, and you'll see that we actually made the pattern longer. So it's actually better to have it a little bit longer. I just didn't want to recut for this video because we're actually out of tissue paper. And so always follow my pattern. Make the stem a little bit longer than the petal, just because you'll see why. It's because you need the handle. Okay? So here we go. You just roll it like a cone. Pretty simple. Okay, so now you have a cone, and now you tape it. So it looks like, Mother Nature did it, this overlapping flower. You tape it, and then you squeeze it, of course. You kind of want to like put your fist in here to find the center and make it a little bit bigger, because the reason is you are definitely going to need to add in this. So you want to make room for it, okay? Okay, and this is 11 inches by 14. And for the second layer, I'm going to need 9 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I just, again, you start with 1 layer first. And using this as a center point, you kind of just overlap it, okay? Overlap it, and then you fan it out. Super easy. Then you tape it down. And this isn't, nothing has to be perfect, okay? So don't stress out. It's like Mother Nature. Nothing has to be perfect. So now the key is to getting this flower looking right is. Really, it's about this spacing, okay? Because once you connect this piece together, if you do it like this, okay, you're gonna slowly get bigger. So you need to make sure that you have enough spacing here for that. So maybe 4 inches. 4 inches looks a lot, but you'll see at the end that it's gonna roll up and it's gonna look like that, okay? So let's do 4 inches. And if you want, you can just tape this part first down. That's just for security. You really don't need to. Okay, so again, it's just rolling, rolling, creating that cone and creating a stem. Okay? And you see how this actually has gone up? Now it's like 2 inches and I started with 4. Okay, so just tape it. You can roll it tighter, okay? Roll it tighter and then tape. So you're gonna end up using a lot of tape for this thing. Again, put this out and then you pretty much just expand it. Okay, it's looking beautiful already. And you can do it a little bit looser if you want. It's really all about how you want this thing. But we just want to make it look like, you know, an explosion of petals. Just a blossoming, beautiful flower. Okay, so this is only 2 layers, and look how beautiful this looks. And this is 19 layers, okay? So I'm gonna just do the other side. So 1 more layer of small, then 2 layers of medium. Okay, so what I just showed you is the beginning of a small flower. So I just did 3 layers only for you, and for the small it's 5 layers, so there's 4 more layers. For the 6 is 6, for the medium size is 6 layers, and for the large is 8 layers. So I'm gonna show you once you get after the 3rd layer. You know how it was like showing that it has to be the pointing, fanning from the master point of the first one. Once you get to layer 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, you want to fan it out a little bit more. Instead of like going like this and fanning it out, you want to actually spread out the main point also. Okay, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just gives you a little bit, I guess, wrapping around the petal. Okay, so layer 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the bigger you get, the more you fan this out, instead of like always coming from this one point and fanning it. Okay, all this actually separates also. So now we have our flower. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how to make the inside centerpiece. Okay, and so it's really just a circle. It's 7 inches diameter, and we used 3 layers because we're crazy. And all we did was, to get this look, was squish it, you know. So your kid can help you do this. There's no right or wrong. It's all about just making it organic looking. Take out your frustration on this centerpiece. You know, the more wrinkled it looks, the better. So this is actually my first attempt at it because my assistant has been doing it. So theirs probably gonna look better than mine. So now I can see why they took time to pleat it, because it does look a lot better when you pleat it. Okay, so I think I'm actually gonna go in and give it a little bit good crunch, scrunch, whatever that word is. Okay, to make it look better. And then you get this, right? And so that's why I showed you earlier about making sure there's enough room in there. So this seems a little bit big, right? Because I can't even like put it in there because my flower was a little bit tighter. Okay, so now that looks good. It's not a perfect circle. Again, it's not about perfection. Okay, so now I actually went outside in my backyard. Actually went near the school. Actually just went to a park, grabbed some moss off the trees. Kind of gross, but it's free. And I didn't have to spend a penny. So all you have to do is super glue the sucker in. And it really brings this to life and make it look really, really authentic and real. We actually try fabric, we tried tulle, we used yarn that had a little bit metallic sheen to it, but nothing looked as good as this after we kind of had to accept it, because at first it looks a little creepy, like a little spider thing, but after we stepped away for an hour or so, we all agreed it looked really, really amazing and real. Woo! Do you see it? And organic was that creepy thing. Okay. This is the real deal, not something from Michael that we bought. We went to the park and we got some. So now all you have to do is super glue this part. I mean, honestly, this is self-explanatory, but some people like to see everything, how everything is done, and so this is how this is done. And now you got this beautiful, organic looking flower. And mine might not be the prettiest, but it looks real. Okay, so you spread out your petal a little bit more. And that is your flower. So I'm going to show you now how to do the base and how we did this thing a standing base. So give me 1 second and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so the main component of this project that makes it so much better and so much more unique than all the other projects out there is this stem that you can create that can stand on its own. So it's a really an amazing project because you can actually get a flower that stands up on its own. So it really creates this aura of being in the flower garden, I guess. And I love this because it was standing. So another construction instruction that I read online is you just buy this cup. I don't know how many ounces this is, but when you party hard when you're younger, you buy this cup, house parties. Fill it up with concrete, and you have to buy this thing called stucco corner and to tape it together. And this was the only thing that would really will work, because I actually did try chicken wire and it was just collapsing and I was cutting my finger, I was bleeding everywhere. And so I could find this at Lowe's, I couldn't find this at Home Depot. It's driving me crazy. I actually had a friend who was in construction. He told me I had to go get it at a place called Premier Plastering, and it's in Houston, Texas. Premier Plastering. I'm advertising for you guys. I tried to buy it on Amazon.com. It wasn't available either. So I'm sure you can find it somewhere in your neighborhood under a construction company, suppliers. I think it would have been better to put this in the concrete and let it dry at the same time. And you don't have to use concrete. I guess you can use sand or rock. And I would think, honestly, if you were to do this and I were to do this again, I would actually use a bigger cup, a little bit heavier, because this thing here that we just did, the highest one, our flowers heavier, our trees a little bit taller, our green stems. So I wish we would actually have it a little bit heavier, because it's falling a little bit, it's tipping over, so we really have to like bend this thing to balance it. If we had this a little bit heavier, we would have that issue. So I kind of wish this was heavier. So if you can make it heavier, buy something for the 99-cent store container that's bigger than this. I would suggest this, especially if you're gonna go bigger and taller like we did. So what you had to do, what suggest was put this sucker in here, tape it like we did, use craft paper or tissue paper. I had craft paper with the glue here, and we just kind of wrap it around. Easy breezy. Again, I would stick this in here and then let it dry. One less step to do, okay, and a little bit heavier. So after I did this, as you can see, just cup, masking tape or duct tape, craft paper to hide it. The next step is to cover it in, oops, that was scary. Cover it in green, and I'm breaking my office. Tissue paper, and the easiest way to do is cut it in long rectangle. Use the spray adhesive glue, and then pretty much just wrap it around. Super easy, the fastest way to do this, okay? Okay, so we're almost done with this project. Now we just have to do the leaves to go with the little tree stump thing, I guess. Okay, so super easy. It's 20 gauge wire, very malleable, easy to bend. So you just get a stick and you kind of like just turn it around. And then you do another shorter stem here. And you just cut out the leaf size pattern that you want. Very organic, you know, just whatever size you want depending on the size of your flowers. So everything depending on what size you're doing, okay? Okay, the easiest way to do this is once you get your wire, just place it in. Oops. Now you check that baby. First thing you want to tape down is here. So pretty much just taping it down, making sure that this is pressed down. Okay. So this is like the bone of your leaves. This is the skeleton that holds it all up. The shape. So the reason you want to press it down is so that you can really get this, you know, shape of this vein to show up. So it looks really nice. So again, pretty much self-explanatory, but just in case somebody wanted me to explain it, that's why I'm showing it. Being really clear about it. If it's too long, I just bend it. Okay. Pretty easy. Then all you do is pretend you're using spray adhesive. Special sound effect included. Spray it on top. Smooth it down, and this is what you get. All right, easy breezy. And so this is pretty much the finished product. I showed you all the components, and then I am gonna assemble it at the store, and you'll see the finished product at the end of the video. I'm excited to show you. I'll see you at the store. Ta-da! Okay, so we're at the store today. This is the finished product, and I'll show you the whole store with the flower. But anyway, so I showed you how to do all the components. And so how you pretty much stick it together is using a zip tie. The zip tie with the base, pretty easy. And then you use tissue paper with fake leaves, with no wires, and then you hide it. And then right here, you can go right here. We have the wire wrap around, and then you use more tissue paper to hide it. Okay, so pretty much now this is what it looks like. It actually looks a lot better if you bend the stucco corner to give it a little bit of a movement, like a natural tree branch. So it's this amazing stand flower that is just gorgeous, beautiful, and it looks super real. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you get to do it also. And we're loving it in the store. Bye, you guys.